From Islamabad and Karachi, Brigadier Javed Hussain and Zafar Ilaili. From Delhi, G. Patsati in our studios, General G.D. Bakshi. And from Guwahati tonight, former Vice Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal P.K. Borbora. Thank you very much. Brigadier Javed Hussain, you know, General Kiani has generally become insecure because like all good, or rather I should say bad Pakistani generals, he doesn't want to retire. So the general view is that General Kiani has become insecure and he's trying to increase his relevance by showing what he can do on the Indian side. But question is, why is Nawaz Sharif letting him do this?
Look, Arnab, I was given to understand that this program is going to be about the talks in New York. Now, what your correspondent just delivered, what happened in, I'm not aware of it. I was traveling. I'm in Islamabad.
Well, just
to answer your question,
no, just to inform you, which actually reveals Javed Hussain how the Pakistani media as well suppresses the facts about Pakistan's terrorism. 12 people have been killed, 6 army and 4 Indian policemen in these twin terror attacks carried out by Lashkar-e-Toiba wing in Jammu.
you see, the point is that General Kiani is going to retire. So nobody should have any doubts about that. He's retiring in November. And I think his successor is going to be named sometimes in first or second week of October. Second thing is that Pakistan Army is fully committed. Presently, it has no offensive capability on the Eastern Front because the offensive formations have been deployed in the federally administered tribal areas. And they are preparing for a new offensive in FATA should the talks between the Taliban and the government fail. And chances are that they will because they are enjoying external support. Likewise, there is low-level insurgency going on in Balochistan, again supported by
Sir, we are not interested in the Pakistan and the Pakistan Army's problems, Javed Hussain.
So,
you have our sympathies for being a failed state. You have our sympathies for being a failed state. But that is not the point. The point is you are allowing a venomous man called Hafiz Saeed to bring about these groups. No, one second. You see, I have a promise here, Zafar Ilaili. I said sometime back today that Musharraf said to us in 2004, our soil will not be used for sponsoring terrorism against India. Okay, Zafar Ilaili. As of now, the government in India seems to give you a long rope. But the people of India will not give you that long rope for a long time, Zafar Ilaili. And public opinion counts in a democracy.
I see that you are in your usual hysterical mode. And actually, I timed you over the last 11 minutes, out of 8 of which you were hugging the mic. And I must say the other Indian guests were very patient. What you really need is a Maroof beside you and a mirror. And I think that will be more than enough for your programs. I don't know why you call these other gentlemen. They are hardly consulted, interrupted repeatedly, and their arguments dismissed out of hand.
Zafar Ilaili, Brigadier Javed Hussain
I'm used to you.
On a lighter note, Brigadier Javed Hussain is a former Pakistan Army Special Forces officer. He doesn't need you, Zafar Ilaili, to give him covering fire. You can answer for yourself tonight why your government believes that this farce, that you will be able to put everything off to non-state actors, will work anymore, because it won't.
You know, I think that you must also do two things. First of all, in 1990, we are told, according to the former Indian chief, that you actually sent your soldiers and operatives and sleuths across to us in order to kill people you did not like. And that operation was conducted with the full permission of your defense ministry, your army chief, I presume your prime minister, until somebody got to know about it and they scrapped it. Now that is your conduct in 1990. So, you know, sometimes perhaps we learn from big brothers. Now, let me tell you one thing about this particular incident. I wish your cameraman could have taken your audience to the line of control. Your viewers would have seen that even a mouse can't get through those fortifications. To infiltrate that barrier with those precautions, with those many troops, is virtually impossible. Actually, I'm astonished how it seems that repeatedly people who want to take revenge on the Indian army, mostly for the kind of treatment that is being meted out to Kashmiris inside Kashmir, your part of Kashmir, I am surprised why this general who comes and praises his men doesn't blame them for stopping them. Why doesn't he blame them for not being able to defend a border which is impenetrable almost?
Your weak attempt not to answer the question is going to raise many eyebrows, I can assure you, including Pakistan. Because if you were aware of the facts, you would not go back to 1990s, Zafar Ilaili, you would go back to 1986, when this infamous organization, you know, what was it called? The intelligence community had assessed at that point of time that the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Jamaat-ud Dawa part of the same organization, which is the Markadul Dawawal Irshad, founded by Hafiz Muhammad Saeed and others in 1986 with funding from the Middle East, and set up camps to fight the Soviets in Afghanistan. When I tell you about your own history, you will be embarrassed. All I want you to accept tonight is this proxy war fought by the Lashkar-e-Toiba, a weak and cowardly organization which changes names and operates under different alliances, which is now using alliances like the Al-Nasriyin, which you'll be duly informed was reported to have issued threats against the Zubin Mehta concert. Al-Mansurian, mentioned as one of the alliances for the LET, has claimed responsibility for several attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. This proxy has to be...
You know, we have been, Arnav, at the receiving end of the ISI's machinations. Not as is, you know, commonly thought and as Zafar Ilahi was referring, from 1990. The whole story goes back to the year of the Lord 1980, when the current phase of the ISI's asymmetric conflict against India started in the Punjab first. You know, the AK-47s, the machine guns, the rocket launchers, all landed up there and ended up in the Golden Temple. You know, and we have lost 21,000 Indian citizens to this first phase of terrorism. We had hardly controlled it and tamed this very vicious, you know, terrorist movement when the Pakistan's ISI started the second phase in Jammu and Kashmir. And quite incidentally, you know, as has been brought out in A.J. Akbar's book, The Tinder Box, this preparations had started when Ziaul Haq called the Jamaat-e-Islami people from Kashmir to, you know, for a Hajj into Saudi Arabia, and then they were brought to meet him. This was in 1981-82. They had been working on it for that long. We had another 20 years of a proxy war in Jammu and Kashmir. Let me inform my august Pakistani interlocutors that the Indian Army has recovered in Jammu and Kashmir so far 80,000 Kalashnikovs, 1,300 machine guns, 2,000 rocket launchers, 67,000 grenades, 7 million rounds of ammunition, 37,000
And it's only a matter of
kilograms
time. You see,
military-grade explosures.
You've just come out of the global embarrassment.
For God's sake, these don't grow on
you see,
the apple orchard.
Zafar, no, 1 second. Let's get,
all this
let's,
can
no, no,
harm
let's
about
get, let's get the others
divisions
in.
of the army.
Let's get the others in, or Zafar Ileli will say we need 2 mirrors on the program tonight. But what Zafar Ileli and unfortunately Brigadier Javed Hussain will have to concede tonight is that this game, where you use different names, I ask you tonight, Javed Hussain, I give you 4 names. Pasban-e-Ahle Hadith, Pasban-e-Kashmir, Al-Mansurian and Al-Nasariyin. What is the link between these groups and Hafiz Saeed?
Look, whatever the links.
No, what do you mean, whatever the links?
Question is,
I am very specific
hold
tonight.
on, listen to me. No, I'm also going to be very specific. Just have the patience to listen to me. Be a good listener. I've said so in so many earlier programs.
Answer the question, sir. What are these groups?
I'm answering the question.
Yeah, what are
if you
these
let
groups?
me. If you let me. The thing is, why is all this happening
Oh,
in
please.
Kashmir? No, it's not a question of please. It is happening because I can assure you, the day the Kashmir issue is resolved,
This is the standard.
all these activities
now you realize
that are taking place.
No, now you realize that you
Crossing-
have no answer on that front. You see, now you realize you have no answer on that front. I'll come to you, but I want
This
to go to
thing
Air
will
Marshal
continue.
Borbora. No, G. Patsati after
Oh,
that.
why?
No, one second. G. Patsati,
thing
I'm coming
will-
to after that. No, one second. Air Marshal Borbora. You see, the question is this.
You don't let me speak.
Sir?
This is not a debate then. This is not a debate.
Sir,
You don't let me speak.
Sir, Mujahideen, Hyderabad, Deccan owed up to the 26/11 attacks apparently. Right? There was a letter
What
given
have you
by
been
them,
able-
translated and published in the Wall Street Journal. It was later found out that there is no such group. This was another front for your ISI.
What have you been able to do about the Indian Mujahideen? They are flourishing. Under
Sir, the
your very
Bhatkal brothers are in the
You've not been
ISI's
able to do
custody.
anything
What are you
about
talking
it.
about? Actually,
Are in jail
Air Marshal
and
Borbora. Air
in
Marshal
jail.
Borbora is
Yes,
responding.
please.
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think we'll go into specifics, but I think they've got about 20 minutes of their time. I think we also deserve some time. After all, we also come here. Now let's go back to just some very specific things, and maybe it'll be clear as to what is the issue. Post-independence of Pakistan, what is the identity of Pakistan as a nation? I think they're slowly heading to be called a rogue nation and a failed state. I think 1971 conflict was the greatest humiliation that they have faced. Now, what is it they are looking for? They're looking for revenge here. Why do you want to cover it up with anything else? A failed state, almost being called a rogue state, their very existence of a very comfortable lifestyle of the Pakistan military in a practically undemocratic nation is the power over the civil government and, of course, India bashing. They will always be where they are unless there is a distinct change in the thinking of the Pakistan people. Now, US is carrying on blasting them with missiles left, right, center. They even took away and firstly killed and took away a lot of issues when Osama bin Laden was there. They did their job. Did Pakistan react except for voicing their issues? No, sir, because US is a strong military and they dare not. If we too had a strong military, Pakistan dare not do what they were doing. We are strong enough to take on Pakistan any day in a conflict. But of the strength close to a nature of what US has, if we had it, Pakistan wouldn't
You know, these
dare.
warmongers, Do you know these warmongers
Now
that
listen,
you project
please,
on television?
I have not said that.
These mindless warmongers. You are doing your country and you are doing peace in Asia a very bad turn by having warmongers like
I'm
this
sorry,
Air Marshal
we never
who's
started
flying
wars.
God knows where.
We
Now
didn't
let me
start
tell you,
wars.
listen
Go
to your,
back to 47.
listen to your Prime
48.
Minister. Take
Go
a
back-
lesson
we have
from your
only
Prime
ended the
Minister.
wars you started.
Don't listen to me. Take a lesson from your Prime Minister.